the Spirit of Community Award winner. This is NBC 10 News Today.
Gunfire erupts in an Arkansas community, putting an officer in the hospital. The suspect caught on camera with a rifle.
And a woman missing for nearly a week has been found dead. Now, authorities are working to determine whether foul play was involved.
Plus, medical marijuana could soon be at a pharmacy near you. We've got the update from Louisiana's Agriculture Commissioner coming up. Good morning. Time now is 6:30. Happy Tuesday for you.
And thank you for waking up with us right here on NBC 10 News Today. We were just having an interesting debate earlier because it was news to me. We were talking about, our little area, the ArkLaMiss.
Yes.
It doesn't really have any sort of set borders or boundaries. It's just, where we are. And so I was comparing that to the ArkLaTex. And I didn't know that was an actual physical place.
Yeah, it's the city.
And there's a lot of little combined words all over the country, right?
I know. I feel like there's a lot of cities like, Texarkana, ArkLaTex, where, there's like a little city that's like right on the borders. I think there's one in Florida and Alabama. It's called Florala. So Florida, Alabama.
Florala.
Florala, I think. I'll have to...
Or the Floribama Shore. The Floribama Shore.
Floribama.
Yeah, the show on MTV.
I actually like that, Floribama.
Floribama, yes. It's a shore. That's what they call it. I don't know. Haven't been. You?
Oh, our beautiful little country.
I know. Don't we love it? All right, Lexi, weather-wise, we are in for more showers.
We certainly are. And a few of us this morning are seeing a little bit of some light showers, but that's more for the southern portions of the ArkLaMiss. Other than that, we're starting off with a little bit of cloud cover. But again, we will see shower and thunderstorm development by later on this afternoon. When we take a look outside, the sunrise again trapped behind that cloud cover as we start off our morning at 74 degrees with just a little bit of wind at 7 miles per hour. That's your forecast first.
An Arkansas man is in critical condition, accused of threatening people with a gun. Witnesses in Hot Springs say officers exchanged gunfire with the man who first fired at an officer.
That officer is okay and now out of the hospital. Zach Briggs reports.
They're shooting! Oh my! Is this real?
It's the violent reality seen and heard by dozens. Leroy Crawley happens to work at the Gangster Museum, just yards away from where gunfire erupted.
It just feels like a scene from the old Wild West and some of the gangster days of Hot Springs.
Half past noon, Officer First Class Jonathan Smith and his K-9 responded to the 500 block of Central Avenue. Callers reporting that this man was brandishing a gun and threatening bystanders.
What he said was, "Mama, I'm going to die today."
The suspect is 31-year-old Jonathan Allen Scott of Hot Springs. James Sutherland called police, witnessed everything go down. He says Officer Smith urged Scott to put down the gun.
He turned and he shot the policeman in the leg. He fell in the hedges.
The suspect then proceeded to aim his gun at a different target.
And he turned around like that, and they just shot at him because he wasn't going to give up, He was going to kill somebody.
So the investigation continues. Sutherland, thankful Officer Smith survived. His concern now lies with the mental well-being of the suspect.
Where does a man like that get a gun like that?
That was Zach Briggs reporting. Officer Jonathan Smith was treated and released from the hospital on Sunday.
A toddler and 2 adults were killed in a crash Monday in LaSalle Parish. It happened on Highway 27 south of Alla. Investigators say a Ford Fiesta driven by a 17-year-old was slowing to turn right when the driver of an 18-wheeler collided with it. The Ford Fiesta overturned and the 18-wheeler hit a tree. A toddler and 2 adults in the Fiesta were not properly restrained. All 3 died at the crash site. The teen driver and the driver of the big rig were wearing seat belts and sustained moderate injuries. Samples were taken to test for drugs and alcohol. That crash remains under investigation. A West Monroe man is behind bars accused of posing as a federal agent appointed by President Donald Trump. Yeah, someone called police about a man sitting in a vehicle in a business parking lot on Cypress. It was 37-year-old Zachary McVeigh. According to the arrest report, when officers questioned McVeigh, he claimed he was a federal agent and that he was the officer's supervisor. Police say a search of McVeigh's vehicle turned up meth in a glass pipe. The officer also found a Louisiana SNAP EBT card that was not McVeigh's. McVeigh was booked on false impersonation of an officer, unauthorized use of food stamps, and meth possession. "Today is the day you will die." Words Washita deputies say a man spoke to a woman he was holding hostage. Investigators say Gregory Lighton forced his way into a woman's home on Breland Drive. Once inside, he refused to let the victim leave and then threatened to kill her. When deputies arrived, they could see the victim and Lighton crawling on the floor to the kitchen. They say Lighton refused to come to the door, so they had to enter by force. The victim told police that Lighton came to her home and kicked her carport door until it was damaged, forced his way inside, pushed her to the floor, and began strangling her. Lighton is accused of domestic abuse, battery, false imprisonment, violation of a protective order, and home invasion.
A woman in Union County missing for almost a week was found dead Monday morning. The Union County Sheriff's Department recovered the body of missing 50-year-old Bethany Sanders. Her red Jeep was found Friday in a shallow pool of water near the Washita River. Deputies found her body not too far from her vehicle. Once river levels receded, they located her body near the riverbed. They are still trying to figure out what led to this incident.
If Miss Sanders was there and had gotten stuck, would have stranded her there and possibly would have been water all around her. At this point, a lot of it's conjecture. We don't know if she tried to walk out or had some sort of episode.
Sanders was first reported missing July 23rd from family members. Her body was sent to the Arkansas State Crime Lab, and the case is still under investigation. Well, we now know the names of the two people killed in a boating incident this past weekend near Sterlington. Investigators say 72-year-old Margaret Davis and 55-year-old Michelle Davis were not wearing life vests when their boat overturned Sunday afternoon on Bartholomew Lake. One other person in the boat was able to make it to shore safely. Some of the proper safety precautions you should take to prevent drowning include wearing life jackets and not having too many people or things in your boat. The Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries has boat safety classes once a month, and they are free and open to the public.
Monroe police are asking for your help to find a missing woman. Investigators say 50-year-old Sharon Williams was reported missing by her brother back on July 20th. They say she is homeless and lives under the Grammont Street Bridge near the Monroe Civic Center. Williams is 5'4", weighing around 120 pounds. Williams' family says she suffers from mental illness. If you see her or know where she may be, call the number at the top of your screen. Now the Louisiana school system is being forced to turn off their phones and email system after discovering a potential cyber attack. Schools in Tangipahoa Parish took that step yesterday. The district's announcement comes weeks after malware hit school districts here in northeast Louisiana, including Monroe City and Morehouse Parish schools. These cases have prompted the state to enact its first ever cyber-related state of emergency. The declaration opens Louisiana to resources from the National Guard and state police.
This is a network version of an injury. Right, the faster you can stop the bleeding, the better off that you are. We were able to get on this on day one, and I think that kind of triage was actually, it went a long way to making this thing, at least limiting the severity of the impact.
Cybersecurity experts urge users to back up their files manually, whether at home or at work, and do not open links or attachments from emails that look suspicious.
Medical marijuana could hit Louisiana pharmacies as soon as next week. Agricultural Commissioner Mike Strand says that's only if the product collected from GB Sciences is free of contaminants. Patients have been waiting years for medical marijuana after lawmakers created the regulatory framework for dispensing therapeutic cannabis back in 2015. Regulation disagreements slowed getting the product to shelves. Only Louisiana State and Southern University's agricultural centers are authorized to grow medical pot. GP Sciences is LSU's grower. Southern's grower has estimated its product could be available as early as this fall. And don't forget, every weeknight on NBC 10 at 10, you have a chance to win some free gas. Who doesn't want that? The prize is a $50 gas card brought to you by the Jim Taylor dealerships. If your name is called, you have by the end of the newscast to claim your prize. You can register at one of the Jim Taylor dealerships or go to marglamis.com and click on the contest tab.
Now, your local weather.